Hey YouTube, coming at you with the last Willpower Cup team with a member, level 2 member, so thank you for the support, who is in her head, Kim, 2200, dropped down to 2000 during this cup and hating every second of it. They said, I hate this team, I hate this cup, it's all weird mirror matches on RPS and my smooth brain can't handle it. All jokes aside, I do really want to improve the gameplay since I started PvP late last season after watching the World Championship. Got hooked and trying to improve, but it's hard when I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Hopefully you can say, what are you doing, and help me break through out of ace before next season. Love you. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Okay, so team is Gardevoir, Drapion, Mandibuzz. So it's got 2 out of the 3 that I had on my legend team. I used Shadow Gardevoir in the lead, Mandibuzz, but I used Claydol for 2 reasons. One is when you have this team, if you get hit, if you're leaving a Gardevoir and you get hit with a save swap of like a poison, you can't really come to you can't stay Gardevoir, you can't come to mirror match, and then you'd have to come Mandibuzz, and that's not even an amazing matchup. So right off the bat, the team's going to struggle just on like certain save swaps, like double poison backline, stuff like that, is going to cause you some problems. The second is Gardevoir, Drapion are pretty glassy. This is a non-shadow Drapion, so maybe it has a little more bulk. But Gardevoir is obviously very glassy, so you need shields for that. Drapion, you better hope you get some shields. They did mention that they are running Aqua Tail Crunch. They started with Sludge Bomb but didn't have any TM, so they eventually TM'd it Aqua Tail when they got it. So you may see Sludge Bomb here, but Aqua Tail Crunch is the recommended moveset. Drapion on the lead here, that's okay. So I thought Gardevoir was on the lead, but that's okay. Okay. Tricky lead with a Toxicroak. I have not seen a Toxicroak in this entire meta. But yeah, Mandibuzz is a good save swap. Get hit with their Drapion. Again, we know it's going to be Aqua Tail probably. You could shield. You don't need to shield the first one. You can just let it go. Now, for fast move timing, you want to go 1 Air Slash and throw the move. Or it looks like maybe a delayed CMP there. Or just a CMP that you lost. And now getting into the Drapion and going to snipe this. I don't hate it. Do take it out. Toxicroak, the problem is Toxicroak's now going to come and just farm on you. So at this point you have to let this go. Get it back on the Mandibuzz. Because it is half poison, so it's only neutral to these. Well, you do take... The problem is this needs shields. So any move here will be at least 50%, if not more. So now you just kind of dropped this. Now they have a shield advantage, and your Pokemon's pretty low. Luckily, it is a ground type Pokemon. It has Ice Beam. Was that enough for Ice Beam? So I don't know all the counts, but it seemed a bit short for Ice Beam, and they're just going to top left once you lost that shield. Okay. Okay, Drapion is a decent lead, right? Poison. They get out into Mandibuzz. You actually have... right, so you have Gardevoir. That makes sense. I was going to say, you actually have the option to stay there with Poison Sting and Sludge Bomb, but it makes sense to just get in this. You have to let one move... there's no point in double shielding this when you're just going to be taken out by the next Pokemon anyways. So you either need to make that switch quicker so you don't burn 2 shields. And they come in Claydol... All right, 2200 range. 2200 range. We're going to see some questionable plays. Now you just, out-charm this for sure. Perfect. Now you can come in with your Mandibuzz. Yeah, I'd still come Mandibuzz, honestly. Or sniping with Drapion. The only problem with this is you are now... Ooh, combo play. Look at you. That's not a 2200 play. That is a heck of a play there. Now, you do lock yourself in this matchup, which is not great. So I still think the better play probably would have been just come Mandibuzz, eat the Ice Beam. It takes 2. You will actually farm down here, so nicely done overall. I don't know if I would have played it out that way anyways. I still think you just come in, you take the Ice Beam on the Mandibuzz, and then you get the alignment on the Drapion on the back. But not bad. Nice combo there. Okay, so this is Element of Surprise, which is probably going to help you. They're unlikely to shield this. Yeah, why would they when the moveset is normally Aqua Tail Crunch? So landing that is great. I would just let it go. You have 2 answers in the back. Don't just get to a crunch. We're going to try and... The only problem is they're going to have poison here. No, they do not have a poison. I really thought that if you have a Poliwrath on the lead, you have a poison in the back, which now... Okay, so easy alignment here. The problem is you almost need to shield up everything. This is just a cross chop, so you live that one. So yeah, definitely let the first one go. At this point, you have 2 shields. It's just a fast move down. Shield and fast move down. There's no point of throwing charge moves. The fast move damage is more than enough to take this out. Yep, good recognition there. Okay, Quillfish. Without Aqua Tail, you're in trouble here, right? Both moves are resisted. You only have Crunch. They're going to spam these Aqua Tails. I don't think catching is worth it because you really don't want Gardevoir on this in the back end here. So just going double Crunch here. Obviously, Aqua Tail is better, and you know that. You TM'd it eventually, so I won't comment on that. But now I'm going to go Mandibuzz. The only problem is now you're going to get punished, and then you still have the Gardevoir on it. So again, I don't love it. I probably would just like spam the double crunches there as opposed to giving up switch so much, because now you just get farmed down. You have a Drapion, which has a move which you're going to lose CMP. So I would probably shield this. This is still neutral, so they're only going to get like 2 here. One will, like, a second one will take you out. And now you have a Gardevoir that's going to be on their poison. So try to come in here. Yeah, nice snipe. That's actually a really good snipe. But you got to like shield this move up because it's going to chip a ton. And they may have 2 already here. No, they come in Mandibuzz and now they're just going to outpace you. That may just be foul play. But that's still neutral. Oh no, there's Dark Tip Pulse and you're gone. Gets a Sludge Bomb. Non-shadow. It'll be close. Yeah, not enough. Yeah. I think you give up switch too much. So this one, honestly, is worth the shield on the first one and then let the second one go. So that's fine. That's electric. Now this one's going to be dark, so you just let this second move go. So throwing the Sludge Bomb, they shield. No. Oh my goodness. Here's my first. What are you doing? Okay. What are they doing? I know you still just boost. Holy crap. Okay. Holy crap. Okay. So you were a dark with Drapion. So you would have resisted that second Aura Wheel. So you just stand there, you get that second Sludge Bomb off, and then you come in with a Gardevoir, which is a fairy, into a dark. What you do not do is 1, give up switch, and 2, give up switch into a flying dark Pokemon where the flying and dark are both resisted. So now you got a Pokemon that is just double resisted, like all your moves are resisted. On their end, yes, I know Aura Wheel Dark is resisted, but it hits way harder than Psychic Fangs. You boost your attack again. So I don't know why they just went Psychic Fangs. Maybe they want to try it and like just get to the electric move faster, but they should not have. And now you're shielding this up because you kind of put yourself in a weird spot, and they go Psychic Fangs again just to switch back to the dark mode. So get off this Aerial Ace. There's a whole lot going on in this matchup. None of it good. So you can live this next one, and then they give up switch. Get off a Dark Pulse because it's neutral. That's pretty fast, so I think that may just be a Body Slam. Yeah, I would still try to throw the move ASAP here. Chip with Dark Pulse. They will farm you down. So now the question is, where do you want to take it? Coming in here, hoping it's not a Wild Charge. You could snipe. Oh, okay, you have a move coming out. I'd honestly throw almost blindly. This will unfortunately not do a lot because it's resisted. Throw the Crunch. Aqua Tail. Yeah, that's why Aqua Tail is better, but okay. Now, Crunch will probably put you, if not in the red, then out. Non-shadow though, so maybe you live. Okay, Aqua Tail. And they come in and snipe for the rest here. Okay, Drapion, there's the Aqua Tail. Okay, so now we're at the Aqua Tail. Just farming up a ton here. You can start throwing Aqua Tails. Does not matter. They get the Ice Beam off. They're both 2-turn fast moves, so there's no fast move timing on this one. So get the Aqua Tail off. Honestly, go back to back. Yeah. No, they can't. They give up switch and guard with throw the Aqua Tail, throw the Aqua Tail. Okay. Risky. I didn't know if you can get to it, but yeah, okay. If you only get to one move, Crunch is neutral, so just go for that, even though they're going to shield both. Obviously, Gardevoir Mirror Match is where you're supposed to go here. And this will take them out. And now you can instant swap. Yes. Nice. And Mandiba's in back. This game is over. They have absolutely no shot. You have a shield advantage, mirror match, slight energy advantage, and half a Gardevoir still left. So they can just top left now. But okay, let's play this out. So what I've noticed in the matchups here, I'm going to ignore that Mandiba's coming into Morpeko. Just don't do that again. The main thing I've noticed is you just don't know all the matchups. Catching and still chill. Yeah, that's fine. You just don't know all the matchups. Because I talked about it. Let me just watch the battles and then stay until the end for the summary. But it's basically going to talk about knowing your matchups and the difference of like I've talked about this multiple times. Not a lot of people watch the video when I talked about reading a team and why and how to play through it. But just stay till the end and we'll go talk about it again. Okay, so Mandiba's lead. Sorry. You switched into the Gardevoir lead. You had a Drapion on their end. So you come in Mandiba's. Get hit with a Gardevoir, which is going to shield. Which is nice because now you get to a dark. I was going to say you can actually live one more, and they were definitely going to commit to the farm down. So you could have got the Dark Pulse off there. Because now they still need one more here. They need two more here. So you definitely would have got to the Dark Pulse. And it would have taken it out. But that's okay. Yeah, I just come Drapion. It's going to hurt. You don't need to shield, but it's good. Okay, that's actually not as bad as I thought. Sableye, we take that. Throw the Crunch. What do they have on the front end there? Yeah, the only thing is that these shield. The only issue is that these Shadow Claws are also super effective. So you are going to take some chip damage. And now we got somewhat of a Drapion loaded. So we got to try and chip as much as we can here. I don't mind that shield just to try and get this into Aqua Tail range. Force their energy. But now you're just down a shield and you're going to lose here. No, not Crunch. Aqua Tail, better damage per energy. Lower cost. No. Throw the Aqua Tail. And they just go Sludge Bomb because I think they're just trying to... What? Why did they just go Sludge Bomb? Do they have Crunch Sludge Bomb? What are they? You from earlier? And you go down to the Sableye. Okay. Few more matchups here, I think. Quillfish. So not a great lead. One and then to a Mandibuzz just to get hit with the Morpeko. So you are in trouble. I don't think there's a point of shielding this. There is absolutely no point of shielding this. You have to just let Mandibuzz go. Okay, so there's two things I need to talk about. So, reminder self, talk about how to play out different teams and then talk about when to just give up here. Or should I talk about that now? I'm going to talk about it now before I forget. Yeah, let me talk about it now before I forget. Because I think these 2 points will actually help you out more than just like analyzing a couple more battles. There are 5. When you got a team, which I don't know if this is a balanced team, but it's not a bad balanced team, right? You have Gardevoir, weak to poison, mirror match in the Drapion, and then you have Mandibuzz that can deal with a lot of the poisons in this meta. Okay, close enough to a safe swap. Close enough to evenish. So first of all, where this limited meta is hurting you is there's really only like a few Pokemon that you need to leave. If it's any sort of neutral lead with Gardevoir, a Dark obviously stay in, neutral like Claydol stay in. The poisons are problems. So the poisons is where I came in with Claydol as my safe swap. So the problem is you have two options. You come in with Drapion, which is like a mirror match where you're behind on energy, which puts you in a pretty tricky spot, or you come Mandibuzz, which a lot of teams have answers for. So in general, in these matchups, I think you're right in getting out of the poison, but any sort of like, I talked about 4 levels in one of my videos. I talked about like, you either have like a neutral lead like this, like it's a mirror match. You stay in this matchup and play it out. You can maybe sometimes like soft lead losses, which is like if you had maybe Drapion into Claydol. It's not a good matchups. You're going to lose, but it's not like you're just going to get absolutely walled. And that's the strength of Drapion. Where it'd be like an absolute wall is if like Gardevoir, I'm not going to use just like a steal because this is just not this meta, but if a Gardevoir went into like a Bastiodon, you got to get out of that matchup, right? But if it isn't like a hard counter on the lead, you generally stay in. So a lot of times I see mistakes of like people in lower ELO range just kind of like jumping around, being like, oh, I don't have an amazing matchup, I should get into this matchup. It's like, well, a lot of the time you shouldn't get into the matchup. You should just kind of stay in that matchup that you're in, play it out, and then get that alignment, as opposed to like coming in with like an answer or like a decent response. The second thing is, so you have in this meta, this is correct. You are making the right move to come in here, and I don't think this is the right move. I think you just commit to the fast move down because they have 2 shields, and it's not like you're going to get to 2 charge moves anyways on the back end here. So you just kind of commit to the fast move down. And if you did, they may not have gotten that. Yeah, you have to burn this, and Morpeko's going to take you out because they're going to have a move. So I think if you committed to the fast down there, you would have won. Just kind of recognizing scenarios. third thing we'll talk about. Okay, so that is general 101. Really, really hard lead. You get out. If you're running an ABB style team that you have to draw out something, like if you're running like a fairy, that's by example. If you're running Grassel, Bastiodon, double Razor Leafer, if you don't see a fire or an ice on the lead, you have to draw out that fire and ice with one of your first Pokemon on the back. So that is how you generally play out leads. Super bad lead, out. ABB style, where you don't see the one thing that counters your backline, out. Everything else, stay in. That's the 101. 2, let's say you make a move to usually a safe swap, but sometimes you went in Mandibuzz here. When do you fight for switch? When do you let it go? When do you shield? When do you not shield? These are different scenarios that play out in the mid game here. So if you just get hit with a bad matchup, like Morpeko coming in here, you let it go. I'll give you another example. If you use safe swap Dunsparce and get hit with a Annihilape or Primeape, you let it go. You do not shield. You know you're going to lose. You're not going to flip switch. You have to just let that Pokemon go down, go back into your front Pokemon, and then hopefully that your back Pokemon with 2 shields can sweep the matchup. If you get like an evenish matchup, like let's say you safe swap for Alligator on your team. Let's say you lose lead hard, you safe swap for Alligator, and they come in like in a Zoom roll. Now for Alligator can take a Zoom roll in like the 2 shields because those Shadow Claws do neutral. Hydro Cannons are resisted, but they really hurt. Bubbles resisted on their end. They have to get to the play roughs. If you 2 shield, you can pretty much outpace them there. So when is it worth fighting for? It's worth fighting for in that matchup if there is a potential to flip switch, but there's a potential flip switch, and your first lead is such a hard loss that you really want switch. Then I'm probably 2 shielding and fighting for that switch there. There's also the scenario of trying to get shield advantage and then just trying to run the Pokemon in the back with the shield advantage. So basically, let's say you lost the lead, you came in safe swap. It's going to be tough to flip switch, but you can grab a shield. So basically what I'm going to try and do in that mid game there is use my safe swap. Let's say you have for Alligator, grab a shield, lose that matchup, come back in with your lead, Let the moves go if they have a move. Does not matter. Let the move go. They'll eventually come back into their lead on your lead, and then you have to try and 2 shield to 1 shield advantage your back Pokemon. Like, that's how you have to play that matchup out. There's also scenarios where I sometimes like to take it down to the 1 shield. This is a little more tricky of like when you should. I just don't like going into like the back line with a 2v2 shield scenario. So this is an example of when I would do this. So let's say you have a lead loss, you safe swap, you're probably gonna lose the lead. In the 0 shields, you'll lose the lead, and in the 1 every shield scenario, you'll lose the lead. You'll lose the switch. Let's just say that every scenario you'll lose switch. So loss of lead, safe swap, you're gonna lose it, but I can lose it in the 0s, the 1 shields, or the 2 shields. So that means that if I don't shield and they don't shield, they're going to beat me. If I shield once and they shield once, they're going to beat me. And if I shield twice and they shield twice, they're going to beat me. But in that scenario, I often like to take it down to the 1. So I'm going to shield once and force them to shield once. And the reason I do that is because if you're going to lose lead and then you're going to lose switch, going into the back line with 2 shields for them and 2 shields for you probably does not help you. Because what that allows them to do is basically just 2 shield their back Pokemon and just do like enough fast move damage to, because you need to sweep, right? You lost lead, you lost switch, you need to sweep with your back Pokemon. So if you try to do that in the 2 shield, a lot of the time they will just be able to 2 shield match you and do enough damage with their fast move and potential charge moves that your back Pokemon won't have enough health and you're going to lose that matchup. So if you take it down to the 1 shield, then you can potentially flip that back matchup, do some chip with the back Pokemon, and then go there. So these are just like the different scenarios that you have to play out when you're doing these things. So the easiest for you, this meta is difficult. This meta has a lot of limited Pokemon, only 10. Retro Cup, actually Retro Cup is, well, top teams tomorrow. We'll have a bit more because there's only 3 typings banned, so you'll have more Pokemon. If you are a beginner in GBL, there is only one style of team you should play, and it's a balanced team. So you have something on the lead, you have the cover for the weakness in the back, and you have a safe swap. And basically you just play out exactly like I said. If it's, let's just use the old school Swampert Skarmory core because it's the easiest to explain. You have Swampert on the lead. Only one weakness, double weak to grass. You have a safe swap. Let's say it's Drapion. You have Skarmory in your back, which will beat your grass. Lead. When am I getting out of the lead of Swampert into Drapion? Grass is the obvious one. And probably dragons, like an Altaria or something. You're just going to get killed. Because Hydro Cannon is resisted, and your Mud Shot's resisted, and your Earthquake is resisted. So grass, Altaria, basically if I see those on the lead, instant swap Drapion. If I don't see those on the lead, probably play it out. Now, let's say I see a grass on the lead, safe swap Drapion. They come in with Clodsire. Well, you're probably going to lose. I'll probably spam a bunch of Aqua Tails. I'll probably try and take it down to the 1 shield there. If you can flip swap, you do flip swap because that Swampert lead is so bad against grass, and you have Skarmory in the back, which will absolutely wall the grass. So if you can flip switch, you do flip switch. If you cannot flip switch, then you try to grab shields, knowing that your back Pokemon is going to have to sweep. So you try and grab 1 shield there, come back in Swampert, maybe get a Hydro off, like maybe get to a Hydro, maybe chip the front with a Hydro, and then you try and go 2 shield in the back with your other Pokemon. And this is the easiest way to play GBL if you are a newer player. So I would work on in the next league. This league's kind of rough because there's only like 10 Pokemon that are meta. In the next cup, Retro Cup, I'll put out top teams tomorrow. I'll try and put out like a balanced team. I'll be like, this is for you 2200 ELO players. Use this balanced team, right? So I'll do that for tomorrow. Check it out. Try and just work on the basics of understanding team comps, when to stay in matchups, when to leave matchups, and stuff like that, and then start from there. And we'll start there, and then we'll go from there. Anyways, that is it. Thank you for the submission. I'm just going to quickly peek at Retro Cup to see Clodsire ranked number 1, Licky Licky, Oranguru, Primeape, Feraligatr, Dunsparce, Arctibax, Drifblim, Jumpluff, Cresselia, Hakmo, Aurorus, Gastrodon, Diggersby. Looks like basically a modified Open Great League. So there's options, right? There's options in the Retro Cup. So that is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.